My next question to you, sir, is about the Wangdung standoff. Now, that took place in June 86, a year before you took over as the Army Commander, sir. Now, can it be said that your reading and perception of that incident is at variance to the then Army Commander? Because he was ordered by the Army headquarters, the DGMO, to take a particular stand which was perhaps not taken. Would you like to elaborate from that angle, sir?
There is nothing like that.
Sir.
When you are an Army Commander, you are boss of your command.
Quite right, sir.
And operationally you are the boss.
Sir.
Army headquarters has no say in it.
Sir.
So to state that the Army Commander, the DGMO asked you to not do this and not do that is not the question.
Right, sir.
Now, Lt Gen JK Puri, a very good friend of mine,
sir,
was my predecessor in Eastern Army as the Army Commander.
Yes, sir.
And you are right, the action started in 1986,
yes,
or thereabout. But then the winter came and it froze up there.
Yes.
Then came, in the winter in the high altitude areas, nothing happens. Snows come and everything is blocked.
Yes.
Then I was in the College of Combat. While the winter was there, we did a lot of war games in the College of Combat, because we have in the College of Combat, which is now the Army War College,
sir,
we have various instruction grades.
Sir.
From junior officers, the junior command course,
yes,
to senior officers, senior command course, and officers who have commanded units in battalions or tank regiments and are sweating to become brigadier do what is known as the higher command course. Now, in the higher command course, the higher command wing conducts the course, and I, as the commandant or any commandant, takes a lot of interest in that, because these are the guys who are going to become brigadiers and command divisions and corps later in
yes,
life. And I'm happy to say that many of my students there became Army commanders in their time.
yes.
Now, we ran that exercise where we made amongst our students,
Sir,
the Chinese Army according to the Chinese
yes,
organization, and the Indian Army according to our organization. So there were two separate groups among the students.
like a typical war game, sir.
It's a
yes, sir,
telephone war
yes,
game.
Sir.
It's a telephone war game,
Sir.
but on actual maps and sand models,
Sir,
where the actual terrain is involved. That is why we never allowed foreign officers to attend this course.
Right,
because
sir,
we took actual operational areas,
yes,
where we were conducting these operations, or rather these
yes,
war games. It's a war game on a sand model,
yes,
and on telephone battle, right? That means that the enemy commander is deciding certain things and doing certain things, which is conveyed to our own people in accordance with the type of information they would receive, sir, in actual battle. You understand this?
yes, sir.
So that means the enemy group has made a plan and they have taken some action.
Yes.
So the control headquarters informs the lower control.
The information
People acting as
yes,
lieutenant generals and major
yes,
generals and brigadiers, nothing below that.
sir.
So below that, they were getting reports from the so-called colonels and
yes,
majors and all that this happened, and this yes, happened, the war casualties and all that. So then they make their plans to deal with that situation. So we did this war game over a period of 3 or 4 days, and depending on the intelligence that we had of the Chinese force levels that were available to him in Tibet, and what our defensive capability was,
sir,
we were quite confident that
right,
we would be able to hold a major Chinese attack
yes,
in that sector. That's the NIFA area, Northeast
yes,
Frontier Agency area, in McMahon line
yes,
area, right?
yes,
Kamang Frontier
yes,
Division
yes,
of then Northeast Frontier Agency. That is what we did. Now, as luck would have it, I was appointed as the next Army Commander,
yes,
right? And so I went to Eastern Army. The matter was still going on,
yes,
because the winter had come, and now
yes,
we came to 87,
yes,
when later in the year I was asked to take over that command.
yes,
And General JK Puri, who was a great friend of mine, was asked to come as vice chief,
yes,
to the army headquarters,
sir,
for the remaining 3 or 4 months of his service. He belongs to Delhi, so he wasn't very happy to do that.
yes,
But when he came to know that I was the man taking
yes,
over from him, we are very good friends,
yes,
from the Indian Military Academy.
Yes.
In fact, he and I, from the same company, the Academy, McTaylor Company, I was 5th course, he was 4th course. That's all. We have 6 months difference in service. So, he said, take Sharma as I am known. I'll certainly come to Army headquarters, the vice chief, because the vice chief, like any vice, is a lundy-fundy sort of job, you see. So he came to Army headquarters and I took over the command, but he told me that this is going on. Now I had some very good corps commanders. Narhari was commanding 4 corps. And he was the man personally concerned with this particular area where the Chinese had made an ingress at the Wangdung area. And he had brigade commanders and others who had served under me, see. So they approached me and said that the orders from Army headquarters, you see, is that you must not provoke the Chinese since we do not want to have war. So they laid down a limit of patrolling. You understand?
Yes, understand.
Because in the eastern side, if I might describe the map to you, there's a high altitude ridge line going from west to east.
Right.
From the tri-junction of the border between China, Bhutan and India, eastwards to the tri-junction with Burma, China and India, right? Now that's the McMahon line. Now that McMahon line is a disputed area. The Chinese feel even if it is accepted as a line to be of a border, it should be 20 kilometers further south. But the ridge line from the highest ridge line rapidly have a number of other ridge lines which are lower in height. You understand?
Yes, understood.
The ridge lines are going like this in the east, right? So therefore what happens is a high ridge line there, then there's a big valley, and then there's another ridge line which is not so high, and then another valley, then like that. So limit of patrolling laid down by Rajiv Gandhi and his China study group, of which the army chief was a member, was approximately 15 kilometers on the map further south. Now if I might explain, a map is a flat piece of paper. In army headquarters and the bureaucracy and the foreign ministry and all that, and the advisors of the prime minister looking at a flat, you being a military man will understand that when you go to a mountain, it's a completely different scene, because there are huge heights and there are huge depths. So when you say 15 kilometers or so, it means 3 ridge lines further south, the limit of penetration. So Narhari and the corps commander had already moved forward to the next ridge line below Thagla Ridge. Thagla Ridge was the highest point where the Chinese were. They had already come to the valley and they were climbing up the ridge. It was Narhari's time when one of his battalions had threatened the Chinese and fired a machine gun burst above the heads of the Chinese brigadier who was coming up there.
Batania perhaps,
Whoever, and I'm forgetting the battalion. And with the result that those Chinese got very upset. And they had a foreign ministry of China going to the foreign ministry of India to say, look, this is our border. And please tell your troops not to fire at us because we don't want to go to war with you. But it's our territory, so tell your troops to get back. See, that order came to JK Puri. Now when I came there, JK Puri said, this is a little hot potato for you to handle. And then Narhari rang me up as soon as I came. I was still waiting to take over the command. I mean, it takes 4 days to take over command. And he rang me up, for God's sake, we are already in the forward ridge line. If you follow the army orders to step back to limit of patrolling, then another 2 ridge lines will go to the Chinese. We will not be able to hold them. And then we are at a low level. We may not be able to defend properly.
Yes, quite right.
See? So under these circumstances, please do something. Now I had done the war game in College of Combat. I knew the terrain like the back of my hand. Because when you are doing a war game, you do actual reconnaissance on the ground. So as the commander of College of Combat, as it was known, now Army War College, I had taken a helicopter from Narhari, who was the corps commander, and I knew him very well. And he's an engineer officer. And my elder brother, Lt Sharma, is an engineer-in-chief in his time. They all know each other very well, and I'm the Chota Bhai. He said, sir, whatever you want. So I took a helicopter from him and saw the whole area, even flew over the Chinese ingress. You see?
Flew over the Chinese?
Yes. And Narhari was extremely good commander. He had already moved a battalion of infantry of, I think it was the Guards battalion. I'm forgetting the number of the battalion, first Guards or something. And the person commanding that battalion later became Delhi area commander. I just get his name. He's a Pathania.
Yes.
So I knew him very well.
And you had mentioned Major General J.M. Singh was perhaps the div commander.
No. J.M. Singh was commanding one of the divisions.
Divisions, yes, sir.
There.
Div commander, yes.
He was commanding 27 Division,
Okay.
which is in the Kalimpong sector.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
And that was not in the coming frontier division.
Yes.
There's Natula and,
Yes.
and Jalapla,
Yes.
which were with the
Yes.
17 Mountain Division and the
Yes.
27 Mountain Division. James Singh was there, but that was not the area under concern, you see. So that coming frontier division is further east.
Yes.
Right. So that's in the border between Bhutan and Kameng Frontier Division. And, Bhutan is on one side and Sikkim is on the other side, and this is the area in between. So JM had already occupied this Saltoro ridgeline, which is one ridgeline behind Thagla Ridge.
Yes.
And he had told me that, look, if the army headquarters insists me to withdraw from the Chinese will take it. So I gave him straight away orders, no withdrawal. You see?
Yes.
So that is the first thing. Now, when that was passed by the operations side to army headquarters, I got a call from the DMO, who was an armored corps officer, Bipin Joshi,
yes, sir.
who later became an army chief.
Yes.
And I have known him since he was a second lieutenant. He says, sir, this is an order of the government of India and you are disobeying orders.
Yes.
So I said, no, these are not disobedience of orders. Your orders themselves are incorrect.
Yes.
According to the Army Act,
so disobedience
I am only authorized to obey the lawful command of my superior officer, and the command is not lawful. Then the chief rang me up. He knew me very well. He knew me since the time when I was a brigadier and he was commanding 11 Division in the Rajasthan. Later he commanded the Armored Division.
Yes.
Was not accepted by the Armored Corps. Though General Babur, who was then the chief, said infantry officer will command the Armored Division just to show the Armored Division that we are capable. Fine, that's okay. He was a very capable man, no doubt. Nonetheless, I came as BGS of 2 Corps when General Zuru Bakshi was commanding 2 Corps, when the Armored Division was under. And 2 Corps was after the blood of General Sundarji. मैंने बचाया उसको. I helped him because I knew him from 11 days, done some exercises.
First non-armored corps officer to command.
Yes, I suppose that's part of the game. What's the harm? And, when I later became chief, I ordered that all young second lieutenants, after doing 6 months with the respective units in the armored corps or the infantry in high altitude areas, in border areas, must swap positions. And the second lieutenants of the infantry come to the armored units and armored corps second lieutenants go there. I say, because there has to be a cohesion. We are fighting for the country. It doesn't matter which arm or service you belong to.
Quite right.
See that? So we got a better understanding. By the time you become a general, mostly it's an infantry officer commanding armored divisions and corps and things. So he must know about the armored corps and how to run it.
Quite right.
So all right. So Bipin Joshi rang me up. He said, this is against the hukam. It's a court-martial offence. I said, no, lawful command nahi hai. Then the chief rang me up. How the hell do you mean this? I mean, this is ridiculous. I said, well, you go to the Supreme Court and check if it's lawful. Supreme Court has to decide whether I defend my border or I listen to idiocy of the Rajiv Gandhi government to say there is a limit of patrolling when the enemy is advancing southwards. Make up your mind. Is the McMahon line correct or is it not correct? Do you, as a country, say it is correct the way it is, or do you agree with the Chinese that it is not correct? Why should I withdraw? Because my job is to protect India from external aggression. That's my first task. So I'm protecting that. Now you're telling me to withdraw to limit of penetration, which is 3 ridge lines behind.
Which will
which means that I'm not carrying out my duty. That means I'm handing over Indian territory to China. So if you say that the McMahon line is bakwas and you agree with the Chinese, then they want to go right up to the plains of Bengal. They want to go to the plains of the Brahmaputra. That is their demand. Sorry? So if I withdraw, that is what you give me the order, then I go back to Guwahati, then why should I oppose these people? See? For the sake of peace. Right? So I said, now for that decision, it's far beyond the military or Rajiv Gandhi's headquarters. Supreme Court has to decide. Is that Indian territory or is that not Indian territory? Simple.
And that was the end of it?
No government goes to Supreme Court.
Quite right.
Right?
Yes.
So I said, Supreme Court, humse hukam, I obey the Supreme Court. Because they are responsible for all law.
Sir.
This is an illegal order.
Yes.
They decide whether it's legal or illegal. If it's legal, I go back to Guwahati. Let China come to the Brahmaputra plains. If it's illegal, then I disobey this order. It's an illegal order, and my Army Act only says obey the lawful command. That's all there is.
Thank you very much. We just now saw this very interesting explanation, actually what actually transpired at that point of time. Stay with us. We will go to the next video. Thank you.